All right, so for you gym bros out there, we're gonna talk about how to build beefy biceps. Now this is a conversation and a talk that I usually try to stay away from, but I'm gonna show you the key tips in order to build big biceps that'll also keep your elbow and your shoulder healthier along the way. One of the first exercises that I started to use back about 2-3 years ago when I started to worry about bicep training was a guy named Charles Poliquin, which was a master coach and probably had some of the biggest set of arms you've ever seen on a smaller guy. I asked him, hey, how can I get my biceps bigger without messing up my shoulder? And he showed me this exercise. The key is to lower this in a hammer grip, and then when you come up, turn it to a supinated grip and raise. So it's actually 2 movements. Now I like to use this on a supported incline because then I can't cheat. Remember that biceps is not always about how much weight you're lifting, it's about time under tension. So I can make this faster and do it much more explosive. It's not the point. You want a slow, even, controlled contraction when trying to build big biceps and not hurt your shoulder. So this is called a Poliquin curl. The next one I learned is from Flex Wheeler, who had well over 20-inch arms at like 240 pounds body weight in his prime competition. One of the best bodybuilders in the world. What you do is you keep everything in a supination, and then you actually pull your elbows back and your arms up in this fashion. This will build insanely big arms, and you don't need much weight to do this. So pull the arms back and curl it up to the chest. The next one is just a standard cable curl with your hands supinated. Why I like this is that weight on that stack stays exactly the same. So weights change, dumbbell weights change as you lift them through range of motion based on how gravity is pushing down that weight. Cables are consistent the entire time. So make sure when you're training your arms you have some cable work in there. And as you can see, the speed of this is slow and controlled. Remember that biceps love, just like most other muscles, time under tension. The next one is basically your crossbody hammer curl. Now I am strongly against doing a lot of biceps if you're trying to be a good bench presser or power lifter, based on the fact you don't want to turn on your biceps to do that lift. But if your goal is aesthetics, then you're going to have to do that. But this is one bicep exercise that you need as a bench presser to build up your brachioradialis. As you can see, it makes the part of my elbow on the outside, the lateral side, very big and strong, and that is very important for maintaining elbow health. Another key exercise, which really isn't a different exercise, but it's just a different type, a mode, is using a band. I like to use the band for the bicep based on the fact that it's harder here than it is here, which is unlike a lot of the different weights. Dumbbells are easier at the top than they are at the bottom. Same thing with the stack and the cable. The stack and the cable is going to be consistent weight. This actually gets heavier as I pull on it, which will help build the top peak of the bicep higher. I use the Ultranum and BCAAs when I'm training, both pre and during training, to make sure that my energy level stays super high while I'm getting fatigued or while I'm in a calorie deficit. So remember, when you're training your biceps, you need to make sure that you're training different resistances, angles, and positions so that you don't get tendonitis, but you also get a full growth of the muscle at all angles.